Soft plastic baits come in a wide range of shapes, sizes, and colors. A ton of colors. But no single one probably comes in as many colors as a soft plastic stickworm. The Yamamoto Senko, for instance, the original stickworm, comes in over 134 plus. That many color choices alone will drive any angler from the beginner to the seasoned veteran on the tournament trails, scratching their heads, wondering which color is the best. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. David Senko here, as always. Today we're taking a look at soft plastic stickworm colors. We're going to be looking at the ones that I personally use and the goal of this video is to kind of help everyone narrow down some choices. There's, like I said in the intro, the original Senko has 134 different colors. And then you add into the fact that there's guys like me that custom pour our own Senkos, and the options for the guys that create them are pretty limitless. I tend to stick to some tried and trues, but I also got one or two that are kind of off the wall. Not something that you guys normally see. But before we dive into that, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button and that notification bell, so that way you guys don't miss out on what we're doing here on a channel here. So let's get into it, shall we? So here we have my 8 primary colors that I use in a soft stickworm. I do have a 9th one that I'll probably show you guys, just because I don't think many people actually have it, because I have yet to see any major manufacturer have it. It's a custom pour. But starting things off, we'll go with Smoky Shad. This is my bait fish imitator that I normally don't use a whole lot of. I use it mainly as a follow-up to a topwater bite that I miss. Just rig it up on a spinning rod with a 4/0 hook and fling her out there. Maybe on a wacky rig as well. For you guys down south, I'd imagine this would be the color to go to during the shad spawn. Then we got my watermelon copper swirled with orange and red flake. This is just a variation from watermelon copper laminate over orange with red flake that a lot of guys like to use. This color, it imitates a lot of different things, mainly perch, sunfish, and crawfish. I really like drop shotting these wacky rigged during the summer for smallmouth, for deep water smallmouth, and during the spring as well, around lily pads and whatnot for a largemouth. You like to it imitates a sunfish as well, so it'll get some fry garters and all that other fun stuff. Moving over to the other slots here, we got green pumpkin, a color that is in everyone's box, and it should be for good reason, because it works in all water and light conditions. If you're not throwing a green pumpkin, and I think 99% of you are, 90% of the time, because A, it works, B, it works, and C, it works. Dip the tail in chartreuse during the springtime occasionally, and you're good to go. Moving up the slot from there is some form of black with blue flake. This is that black with blue flake and blue tip that we made in my how to make the perfect Senko video. I'll leave a link into the description for that video for you guys to check out. But this is people probably mainly just throw this color in darker water, muddy water conditions. But it it's also a good clear water color. And the times I throw it in a clear water situation is when it's kind of really cloudy and dark outside, kind of rainy as well. With the light penetration down, it darkens up that water, so the fish have just a better silhouette to find this bait. Moving on from there, we got watermelon candy. This here is another good bluegill imitating bait. I throw it anytime I'm fishing clear water and the sun is out. It doesn't matter if it's shallow or deep. A lot of times in the spring, I'll dip the tail chartreuse, which we'll do a little demonstration on one of these next colors here. It's, you know what, let's just get to it. Chartreuse pepper. Chartreuse pepper is a color that, it's not a color that I throw a lot of. And when I do throw it, it's mainly on a Carolina rig. Or, and I shouldn't say this, bedding smallmouth. You put this on a wacky rig, drop shot, and pitch it into a smallmouth bed, they just go nuts, because, you know, smallmouth, they love chartreuse stuff. But another good use for this color, which I don't think many people do, is to dye the entire body a different color and leave just a tip. Because we'll do an example here. I got my dye box. Move that. So what I like to do, you know, I'll open up. Come on. Let's see if I can't get this chartreuse bottle open here. Sorry, I had to loosen the cap a little bit. Now, when we go and dip, let's say we go ahead and dip this green pumpkin worm here. We'll just dip it in here for the tail. Hopefully it comes up. You know, it comes out all right. I guess it could actually be dipped in there a little bit longer. But it's not as... When you dip a already colored bait, like green pumpkin, you know, a dark colored, the chartreuse doesn't come up as nicely. Whereas if you have a bait that, a chartreuse pepper that's already, the vast majority of the bait's already chartreuse, what we can do, this is what I like to do, is I'll take a green pumpkin. All my spike it bottles are really tight today for some reason. So what I'll do is I'll take this chartreuse pepper and I'll, instead of dipping just a tail, I'll dip the entire body into, like so. Pull that out. And we get a nice green pumpkin black flake. It has a much brighter contrast in the tail section there from using chartreuse pepper. So normally I don't like dipping the green pumpkins into the chartreuse. I'll take a chartreuse pepper bait and dip it in green pumpkin spike it dye, and I'll get a way more pronounced chartreuse tail that way. That is that is probably the main use I use for chartreuse pepper, is when I actually want a really contrasting chartreuse tail on my green pumpkin baits. Or another good combination is to dip this in the black spike it, and then you got black with the chartreuse tail for really extremely dark, muddy water conditions. Another bait that I like to use is the baby bass. I love baby bass. This is my extremely clear water, high pressure water situation days. You know, where it's bluebird skies, the wind, not a breath of air, breath of wind blowing. It's a good color for that. Again, this is a bait that I normally like to do some modifications with. Baby bass, if you ever seen a baby bass in the water, they got a really pronounced black tail. So what I typically do is go back to my dipping dye. Boy, these spigots are really haven't been opened up lately. Is that I'll just dip the tail. Yeah, just dip the tail like that, and there we go. I almost always dip the tail. Normally I dip it further than that. My 8th color is smoked bluegill, or well, some people call it bluegill. Others are it's smoke with black and blue and gold flake. This is another bluegill. This is mainly a bluegill imitating color that I like to throw in springtime around beds, and it works best in the sunny days, it seems like, for me. For some odd reason, you would think that the more like a watermelon candy, but if they're not biting the watermelon candy, I'll switch it up to this color just to show the fish something different, because everyone else is throwing the green pumpkins, the watermelons, stuff like that at them. So a smoked bluegill type color comes in handy at times. I shouldn't probably do this, but I'm going to. And a good alternative to this black and blue, actually, I'll get one out here, is a color that I pour. Now I've seen this color in Reaction Innovations baits, but it's not a color that I see in a stick worm very often. And it's a color called Low Blow. It's a June bug laminated over a blue silver bottom. It's a good dirty water, dark water alternative to the black and blues that everyone else is throwing. And that's when I normally throw it. I'll throw it in the same situations as the black and blue, just as a change up. I've seen days where I've worked the shoreline and I've thought, well, geez, I should have gotten a fish there. I'll switch the colors from black and blue to this low blow type color, right back through the same area, and just hammer them. Now, is it the color or is it the change of angle? Who knows? But it's my alternative color. That's my 9th color. I don't normally throw any other colors other than that, but those are my 8 main colors. 9, I guess you could say. If there's anything that I want you to get out of this, is that even though I'm more of a traditionalist that sticks to the more tried and true colors, it doesn't hurt to occasionally deviate. Everyone's got their favorite color, or that's the whole reason why Yamamoto has 134 plus colors. The Yum Dinger comes in 70 some colors, and they're all slight variations of a base color. But something that I'm trying to teach my kids, though, as when we go out fishing, is that color, it does matter at certain times, but action and the presentation probably matters a little bit more. I mean, I'd rather be throwing the wrong color, but presenting it in a way that the fish want to bite it. They'll tell me if it's swallowed down their throats, I got the color right, I got the presentation right. These are just the colors that I have confidence in. I know that they're going to catch me fish no matter where I go in this country. Also, before we go, I just want to thank everyone for the awesome views in my last video, the Pre-Rapala Wigglewort video. I couldn't believe how well that video took off. So I must have did something right there. And the comments, I really enjoyed engaging in the comment section on that particular video. I hope I get some. So if you guys can comment and whatnot, talk fishing with me, that'd be kind of cool, because it's Minnesota. I'm bored. It's freezing. It's negative 11 degrees outside. Got nothing better to do. I also seen that Jim Moyna commented on there. So thank you, Jim. That was kind of cool. For those of you that don't know, Jim Moyna is kind of the guy that before Seth Biter and Allison Felix and Josh Douglas and them became big names from Minnesota, Jim was the guy that I really looked at as a home state guy that was on a national tour. Yeah, it was kind of cool seeing one of my heroes growing up commenting on one of my videos. So good luck, Jim, this year. Till then, everyone else, we'll see you guys out on the wire.